Welcome, everybody. This is Games Over Plastic, episode number 30. A milestone, if you will, a small milestone. We're happy to be with you once again. I'm Midnight, joined as always by my two amazing co-hosts. First of all, we have a man who is definitely a legend, the Master Platinum Trophy Hunter. And yes, of course, I'm talking about Hodge. Hodge, you got 25 trophies, 25 plats, huh? How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I did not. I remember the last time I checked, I had like 6. So I was like, when did I get all these? And I scrolled through, and I realized that more recently I've been platinuming a lot more games than I used to. I was like, oh, I used to not really care but I guess since I've been kind of slowly transitioning over to playing my PlayStation more, I've been focusing on, and because I love obviously achievement hunting, and we'll get into all this, but I like achievement hunting. But popping that platinum feels so much better than popping like a rare achievement or just being like getting that last achievement and looking at your score and being like 1,000, yay! Like that platinum is so satisfying. So yeah, I have 25 of them apparently, and I'm gonna get
It's
more.
that dopamine hit.
It is that dopamine hit, and it's just like I think we've probably talked about it here. It's like that. It's like that secondary game within a game. Like you beat the game and you have fun with it, and then you're like, oh, but there's still like this kind of scavenger hunt mentality in this game where you go through and you complete it, and yeah, they're a lot of fun. So yeah,
Hodge, there's a reason why you loved those collectibles back in the PS1 and 64 era.
oh
That's
yeah,
why you
dude.
love those.
The amount of times I 100% Spyro as a kid, like got
Yeah.
every single gem and
This
stuff
is
like
just,
that.
this is just the evolution of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And, it's a shame that despite this has been by far the biggest recommendation or request from Xbox fans for years, they still won't do it on Xbox. They suck. But alas, last but not least, we have Mr. Mason, Games Over Plastic. Sir, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Little inside joke there. Yeah, doing fantastic. It's a nice spring day. I think it's the second day of spring here, of course, but it's only like high of like 39, so that's a great spring Massachusetts day here in March. But other than that, I'm enjoying life. Excited to talk about some gaming moments we are proud of. I love this. This is right up my alley. So yeah, ready to go, ready to roll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, the topic of this week's episode, as alluded to, we're going to be doing our proudest gaming moments, our proudest achievements or trophies, etc. Just a fun little discussion. We got like 5 or so each, and maybe some honorable mentions if we feel like it. My cat is excited. He can't wait to get into this. Let me get into the administrative stuff real quick. Games Over Plastic podcast is available on all audio platforms, YouTube with video, of course, but also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, every cast. Check us out wherever. The video version, as I already mentioned, youtube.com/@gamesoverplastic. We got cameras, we got graphics, we got good times. Come check us out. Also, we do write-ins. We're going to have a write-in this week, as we often do. And how we get those write-ins is from you. You just go on YouTube and leave a comment. Comment on the show and then put in your write-in. Say, I got a write-in. Here it is. We'll check it out. And there's a good chance we will use your write-in because we don't get a ton of them. So you have a good odds of getting on the show. So write in. Please leave us likes, leave us comments, subscribe, give us all that support stuff. We are a small but slowly growing podcast, and we appreciate you. And with all that said, let's get into some fun. Now, first and foremost, I feel like, are you ready to go, Hodge, you think?
Yeah.
You ready to go? All right, we're going to go ahead and get into this. So if you guys will recall, in like our first episode of the year, maybe, I think we did our fantasy draft. We drafted first or second. Yeah, we drafted our fantasy picks of games and stuff that are going to come out. It is time for an update. Boys, it's been, about almost 3 months here, 3 months basically. So it's time for an update. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our Games Over Plastic fantasy analyst. And of course, I'm talking about Stephen A. Hodge. Take it away, sir. What's going on with fantasy?
So 3 months in, we've all had 2 games released. Well, I've technically had 3, but the third one is my safety pick, which we do not count unless one of your games gets delayed. So, which was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which just came out, has an 82, but that does not count in my score as we said, it is a safety game. But so we've each had 2 games. Midnight, you've had Avowed and Yakuza Like a Dragon, Yakuza Pirate, Yakuza in Hawaii, whatever the hell that game's called.
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sean, you've had Monster Hunter Wilds and Split Fiction, and I've had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Civ 7. So right now in third place is Midnight with an 81 average, with Avowed and Yakuza both having 81s. So obviously that averages out to 81.
That's solid.
In second place is me with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at a 90 and Civ 7 surprisingly at a 79. Did not think it was score that low. Not that that's low, but for fantasy it is. And so I have an average of 84.5 points. And in first place is Sean with 89.5 points because he has Split Fiction with a solid 90 and Monster Hunter Wilds with an 89. So he's whooping us right now.
Yep, shocker to no one that I'm in the lead. Shocker to no one.
Yeah, we'll see. The game is just getting started, Sean. We're only in the first inning, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I forgot I had Silk Song on my list. So
If that game even exists anymore,
if it comes out, it'll score well.
Yeah.
I hope.
I knew that both of my games were like kind of, well, not mid. 81's not mid. That's a good score. But for fantasy purposes, obviously, you want to rack it up higher. I knew that I knew I was third. As soon as you said in third place, I didn't know, but I pointed at myself because I'm like, it's going to be me. Like I knew Sean's games were both bangers. Like when you were reading the games, when you said he had Monster Hunter and he had, what's that? The other one, Split Fiction. I was like, oh, those were both like 90s, basically. I'm like, yeah, Sean's killing it. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, sir, on that, or we good?
No, we just it's really going to come down to you have Silk Song and GTA 6, which are two well, I know they say GTA 6 is summer that's going to be coming out. Isn't that what it's aiming for right now? Obviously Red Dead 2 got delayed twice, so who knows, but yeah, you're risky with the GTA and Silk Song picks because who knows if those are coming out. Same with Outer Worlds too. I mean,
well, when GTA 6 drops and I get 100 on that, I'll be exploding. That's 100.
If GTA 6 drops and gets 100, you already won. It's over.
Yeah,
just crown him.
Right. Yeah, because right now it looks like Judas is the only risky one for me because they had announced it as March, like in a it's like some meeting or something, I guess, like an update. They had said March 2025, like a year and a half ago, and obviously it did not come out this month, so that's a risky one. And then honestly, I think every single one of your games is coming out though. Midnight. I don't know anything about that Atelier game or whatever, but
it just came out, or it's about to come out right now.
Is it just about okay?
Yeah, I think it's getting around an 80. I think. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah.
Are we going Metacritic or open?
Hodge, I'd be a little worried with Metroid Prime 4 for you, and I'd be a little worried with Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, that's really Metroid Prime and Metroid in our other fantasy league that's not through this, but it's just through our friends. I did the counter pick of Metroid because I didn't know what a counter pick was, and so now I'm kind of hoping it doesn't hit for that sake. But I didn't see. Did it? So does it tell you? Does it have a score?
Yeah. So like breaking news.
Let me guess. 77.
Wow. You nailed it for the critics recommend.
Oh, let's go.
You nailed it for the critics recommend percentage, but not the score. So Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories in the Envisioned Land, available for PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series X and S. Nobody cares. It has an 80. An 80 currently. It's not. I don't think it's fully done yet because the game is like not 100% out yet, or it's about to drop. I don't know. Release is on the 21st, so it just came out. Okay, it has an 80 as of right now.
Yeah, so you have that's your safety one anyway, so it doesn't count towards your score anyway. That was your safety pick. So I don't have to update anything. So so that one's out, but it is your safety pick. So it does not.
So it has an 80 and 77% of critics recommend it, Sean. All right. I don't know if I'm going to play that in game. If I play an Atelier game, I'll probably play Ryza first because I've heard good things about that one. And
that is such a Japanese name. Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land.
Very Japanese, yeah. Those games, they're supposed to be like kind of like relaxing games, like very chill, relaxing games. You're just kind of like traveling a world, I don't know, picking up materials, crafting. There's a little story, a little bit of combat and stuff. I don't know. But anyway. All right, guys. So that's the update on the fantasy. Sean Mason is in first place. holding it down. Then we have Hodge in the middle and me at the bottom. But things are not yet decided. So stick around. We'll have more updates throughout the year.
Your
Were you going to say something?
Your first Berserker game comes out next week, also. So that one will be added to your score when we update in a couple months. But
a nice 50.
Yeah, please look forward to that, audience. And don't worry, when my third overall pick, Trails in the Sky remake, comes out, not a reach at all, it's going to score a 90. It's going to be awesome.
I would love that, but I think it's going to be like a 77, 78.
Sean, how dare you? All right, let's go ahead and move on to what we have been playing, boys. Let's do that. And looking at the order for what we're going to do, I'll just go first. We'll just do the reverse order. How about that? So we'll go Midnight, Sean, Hodge. So what I've been playing is, first of all, I beat Control, Hodge. I beat it. Beat the game. And I also did the DLC, the Alan Wake DLC, the AWE. Yeah, I did that one. I did not do the other DLC because I got a little bit burnt out.
It's not as good as the AWE one. It's basically, it just opens up another section of a map and it's the same shit. Like I think there's maybe a couple new like power type, things, but yeah, it's definitely not nearly as good as the Alan Wake one.
I can't believe Control has AWE DLC. They have wrestling DLC. That's insane.
Exactly. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. You want to know why I got burnt out and I didn't do the Foundry or whatever DLC, the Foundation, Hodge?
Yeah. Why?
Because I burnt myself out getting the platinum trophy, baby. That's right. I got the platinum for Control. I did it. I had to do it for Hodge. I did it. And honestly, it kind of burnt me out a little bit. It kind of soured me a little bit on the game because I had to just go around and do a bunch of menial tasks. Like you had to do all those stupid ass board countermeasures. And then you had to do like 25 side quests. And you had to do this and do that and do this and do that. And it kind of,
Yeah, when I did 100% it on Game Pass or Xbox, I did get all of the achievements, including both DLCs and stuff. But yeah, I do remember I had to take a break for about a week before I went back and cleaned up like the countermeasures and stuff like that, because I'm like, it's just too much. You burn out. You're just basically sitting there waiting for like, go to this place and kill these enemies. It's like, okay. And so yeah, I was the same. I got burnt out there just trying to basically clean up the last of the trophies or achievements.
Yeah, that's one example.
I'm gonna platinum it eventually though, anyway, because why not?
Yeah, you got to. You love it. That's one example where the platinum actually can be bad, because it actually kind of soured my experience on the game because it was wasn't very fun. That's all this extra grinding I had to do, and some of it was pretty tedious. And but overall, the game was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Great story. I can't tell you that I understand everything that happened because it's pretty damn complex. I actually watched like 2 or 3 different breakdown videos explaining the story after I beat it. I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, now it makes sense. And then 10 minutes later, I think back, like, so what happened again? Like, it's a bit out there, but it's good though. It's definitely good. The whole Alan Wake expansion was cool. He's in there writing. Obviously, it clearly ties into what happens in what is it? Dark Falls. What's their town?
Bright Falls.
Alan Wake town. Bright Falls. I need to play some Alan Wake. Guess what I saw too? On the PlayStation Plus premium subscription or whatever, probably extra too, I'm sure. They have Alan Wake Definitive Edition, the first game.
Oh, the remastered one?
Yeah, nice. The remaster. It's on there, so maybe I should play that sometime.
Yeah,
but honestly, or maybe I should go to 2.
Yeah, no, I would definitely play it because the first one is, second one is a continuation of the. I mean, I guess you could watch a redo or a recap of the first one if you wanted, but I think it's worth it. The story in the first one is so good. The gameplay, it's not nearly as good. But the story is much easier to follow and it's much more interesting. I think Control. It's good that you did play Control because Control does tie into the second Alan Wake, so it is, and obviously with that DLC, you can see that it's the events of that DLC are actually post Alan Wake. So when you play Alan Wake, you'll kind of see like, oh, that's who that is, that's why that is, and that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool continuation of Alan Wake in a way. It's just a good way to tie the universes together. But yeah, I loved that DLC. And if I didn't, I played it after I already knew Alan Wake was announced, because at the end where it's like, there's another thing happening in Bright Falls on this date, and I'm like, holy shit, that was the release date for Alan Wake 2. I did not realize that. It's so cool. But so I would have lost my shit, because yeah, I've been waiting for Alan Wake 2 since the first one came out in 2009, 2010 or whatever when it came out. So I was very excited. But yeah, I'm happy you likes it, because Control is a fantastic. It's definitely the best play, like the best gameplay of all the Remedy games. It's such a fun game to play. And yeah, the story is nonsense, but the gameplay is so much fun.
Yeah, the gameplay was solid. I really had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this game. I'm gonna give it like an 88. I'll give it an 88 on Midnight Critic. So good job, Hodge. Good job. I really appreciated your recommendation. You did well. You did well. I like my gift from you. So Control, shout out to that. Like I said, I beat the game. I platinum the game. I beat the Alan Wake experience, or well, that's not actually what it stands for. It stands for Altered World Events, but come on. And then I watched, because I wanted to know what happened. I watched on YouTube what happened in the Foundation DLC. I wasn't going to play it because, like I said, but I did watch the story, and I guess it ties up the black chick who's like I forgot her name. It's been 2 weeks since I beat it. I beat it like right after we recorded our last episode, and then I moved on to my next game. Which I will get into now, because I think we talked about Control. My next game, I am playing some Weebery here. It is time. My number 2 overall studio in the studio draft was Persona Studio. And guess what I'm playing? Persona 3 Reload, baby. Persona 3 Reload, courtesy of Game Pass. Thank you. Man, I'm not buying games lately, man. The Control was on PlayStation, and this is on Reload, the subscription. So I'm playing these games for free. Can't beat it.
Oh, yeah.
I got Persona 3 Reload, and the Episode Aegis DLC is on Game Pass. That's saving me like $105. I had to play it. Sean, I wanted to play Suikoden with you, but I can't pass up on $105 worth of free games that very well might be leaving the service soon, because it's been in there for over a year. Mm-hmm. Can't miss it. But so Persona 3 Reload, I am having a great time. This game is a slow burn. It takes a little bit. It took a little while for the story to kick up. Like, I wasn't like completely hooked and feeling it in the first couple months. It really doesn't, like 4 and 5, like they kind of instantly hit you with like, oh, here's a villain. Here's a big bad. You need to take out this villain. You need to save the world. This one, it's just kind of like, oh, there's shadows and there's a tower and we don't know what's going on. And it kind of takes a while before like villains and like real overarching story really comes out, but it's starting to happen now. I'm at the end of July. I think the game ends like shortly after December 31st on the map, or on the calendar, excuse me. And I just picked up a brand new character, which is pretty awesome. The one from the aforementioned episode Aegis. I really like this game though. It's more Persona. You're going to class, you're taking quizzes, you're hanging out with your friends, you're hanging out with these random people that you meet at the park and at the mall and stuff. You're getting your social links up. Levels up your tarot cards or whatever, which helps you out when you go ahead and splice together the personas. Then they get a big boost in their XP and their levels and stuff. So it's all good. It's all synergistic. It's all fun. The characters are pretty awesome. I like all of the characters. Every single one of them so far, I am a fan of. The story is really picking up. That's all I'm going to say for now, because I'm not done. Like I said, I'm only in about the middle of the game. So maybe not even. Maybe I'm like 40% of the game right now and haven't even touched the DLC. So Persona 3 Reload, pretty awesome so far. Definitely getting really good. Like I said, in the beginning, I was like, what's going on here? But it's picking up a lot. So that's what I'm playing here. Any thoughts on that, guys? Sean, you have any thoughts?
I was going to ask you who your favorite character is, but I'll wait till you finish the game, because that probably will change. But I do just want to say, shout out to my boy Ken. Freaking love him in that game. He's awesome.
Who the fuck is Ken?
He's Barbie's boyfriend.
Yeah, Barbie's boyfriend. Spear is a spear. Persona's a nemesis.
Are you making this up?
No.
Who is Ken? I haven't met Ken. Unless I'm going crazy. Is he later on in the game?
You'll find out.
All right. Well, shout out to Ken, whoever that is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have a Ken right now. The only male companions that I have is I have that Iori dude, who's always like, I want to be the leader. He's
Yeah.
got like inferiority complex, but I like him. Junpei Iori, he's cool.
Hmm.
And then of course I have the white haired dude, like with Sonato or something. He's the boxer.
Hmm.
I have
Yeah.
those two are my male companions, plus me, of course, I'm a male. We just picked up some elementary school kid for some reason. I don't know why he's chilling in the dorm, but I haven't really met him yet. Of course,
You'll
we went
meet
to
Ken
the
soon. Yeah. Okay.
obligatory.
You'll meet Ken soon. Ken Amata.
Okay. Is he the dude that is friends with the boxer that they've been showing with like the little headband and the red jacket?
No, no.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we'll move on. So yeah, I like all the characters so far. I don't have a favorite yet. So to be determined on that. But that's what I've been playing, boys. Platinum number 5 Control. Persona 3 Reload. I'm like 40 hours in, maybe 40% in. Who knows? Whatever. Let's go ahead and pass it on to Sean Mason. So what have you been playing?
All right, so we're gonna start off with, yep, I'm sucked into the Western JRPG. That doesn't even make any sense. The Western RPG,
The greatest RPGs.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've played about 12 hours. I wish I could have played more, but honestly, this game is freaking awesome. It is so immersive, like to the point where I've never really experienced anything like this. It reminds me of the first time I played Fallout 3, but to like the nth degree. Like I am so immersed in this world where like the world is so alive. I feel like that even if I'm in like a completely other town or another place in the map, like things are still happening. And like I'll leave a place and then come back and it's completely different. Like stuff has happened. Like they continued to do stuff. I am just blown away by everything. I will say you really have to kind of adjust to what you're doing in terms of like gameplay mechanics. For example, they'll teach you what to do, but then they'll expect you to like have it perfected right away because they just throw you right in. There's a really steep difficulty curve right at the beginning of the game, which is nothing wrong with that. I love the medieval setting here, and I'm like not like a huge medieval guy in video games, but like for example, like I grew up Skyrim. But I think the way that Kingdom Come does it with the various different characters, the different cities, the different towns, the way that the game is just so immersive, it's got me like really into it. Combat is very complex and it's so deep. There's so many different things you can do. Um, it's really, really engaging. This is a game that Hodge, I do not think you would like at all. Because it's very much like you need to be like constantly engaged, constantly like on your like paying attention no matter what. I love games that make you like have to eat and have you have fatigue and hygiene, and it like adds like it just adds layers to the game. Like when I play Bethesda games, I usually play them on hardcore mode, and you need to eat in that game. But this is like I said, this is to the nth degree. Like it's so insane. Like everything that people have said about it, like is so true. This game is amazing. I would be shocked if this didn't win. I've only played 12 hours, and I'd already be shocked if this wasn't like the game of the year at the end of it. I'm not saying my game of the year, but like the game awards winner. Um, it's awesome. The even like the side quests, they're built and they're set up to like the early game side quests are built and set up to show you how to use the skills that they're introducing in the tutorials. Like each one is like centered on a different skill so that you can kind of experiment and what you want to focus on. I haven't really played like a ton of the main story just because like you get lost in the world so easily. Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna do the main quest, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, no, I'm going to get I'm going to get beer for this guy or some ingredients for this guy to make beer, or I'm going to help this woman out because her kids have been captured by supposedly captured by this like bandit guy, and they're holding them for ransom, and she wants you to go get them back. Um, the stealth is pretty cool too because it gives you like different ways to finish like to do the same thing over like two different ways. I have done it before where I've trying to be stealthy and then I get caught and then I reload my save because I'm trying to do it stealthy, but I've seen that there are different outcomes, which is really cool. The AI, I think I've been lucky maybe that I haven't I've heard things that the AI can be like really buggy sometimes. Like, you'll steal something and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" And then randomly later they'll be like, "Why'd you steal that?" in the middle of like a random conversation. I have not had that yet. But I have already seen. I have seen that the AI is like, in my opinion, it's really good with like remembering things, and all the characters feel so unique and alive. Like, it's not a copy and paste of like just different characters, and it's really awesome. I'm really digging it. Midnight, you're gonna love this game. You're gonna absolutely love it. Maybe you picked the wrong game to play when you picked Avowed over Kingdom Come, but I think you're gonna like it. It's great so far. I'm only 12 hours in, but it's a game that I'm like constantly thinking about. Like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna do. Henry, pretty cool guy.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, this is definitely on my list to play. This is this is a hardcore gamers RPG.
Yeah.
I did play the first game. I didn't beat the first game, but I played the first game like a good 20, 30 hours maybe. And yeah, it's super immersive, like immersive sim, like realistic kind of. I remember in the first game, you actually had to learn how to read because Henry was a blacksmith's son, and he didn't, like a lot of people in medieval times. Like if you're not like nobility and stuff, maybe you didn't know how to read. He did not know how to read. So like when you had to go
Similar
to
to
town,
today.
yeah, people can't today. They have to go to you, Sean. You teach them. But yeah, but no, you actually had to go to like some vendor or some merchant in town or whatever, and you had to go like 5 different times, and like you slowly got better at reading. Like when you were first looking at the book, it was in all like gibberish, and then the second time you'd make out a couple letters, and then the third time you'd make out a word here and there, and like yeah, you slowly all of a sudden, and then you could read. For the rest of the game, all of a sudden you could read like posters and signs and stuff. So that was really cool. But yeah, shout out to that game. I do want to play it. I will play it sometime this year. I just don't know exactly when. Did I play the wrong game with Avowed? Maybe, but I had fun with Avowed, you know.
I know. I'm
And
just with you. I'm just.
I wanted to hop in on the zeitgeist and play some Avowed. Hodge, when are you going to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, sir?
When every other game ceases to exist and this is the only thing left.
Damn.
I understand why people love this game. Like I definitely get it, but it's funny because I'm not hardcore enough of a gamer to be considered hardcore, but I'm definitely not casual enough to be considered a casual. I'm just like there in the middle. So I know games like this are like too hardcore for me, whereas I know I'm obviously more hardcore than I play Candy Crush and Animal Crossing. So like
Whoa, Animal Crossing, good game.
I'm sure it is. I mean, so is Candy Crush, but it's still just a mobile game. But yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely doesn't seem like the things you described. Like when you said this isn't a game for me, it was definitely true because like the things I didn't like about Red Dead Redemption 2 were having to hunt, having to cut your hair, having to shower. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do any of that. I just want to go shoot cowboys. Like that, which is why Red Dead Redemption 1 is one of my favorite open world games of all time, and Red Dead Redemption 2 almost put me to sleep. So yeah, I want to try this game someday. Like if it ever comes to Game Pass, maybe I'll hop in just to try it. But yeah, I don't see myself being like, I'm going to put 100 hours into this game. Like I don't see it happening. But I do, if I ever have that easy barrier to entry, then I will at least try it to say that I did try this game. But yeah, it is definitely very low down my list of priorities.
Yeah, I've told this story once before. I think I don't remember what it was on though. I'm going to just say really quick. Yeah, story I have from Kingdom Come 1 to tell you like the type of game it is. When you start out the game, you have like no skills. You suck at everything. Your dad at the very start of the game sends you to go collect a debt that's owed because he's a blacksmith. So you go talk to the dude. You're like, hey, you owe money, and he's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm not paying it. So you have the options of how you want to proceed, and one of the options is you can threaten him. So I threatened him. We square up. I have no skills. I can't fight. He beats my ass. He beats the shit out of me. And he's like, yeah, go away, bitch. Or you're not getting any money. So, and then you have a couple options. You can go tell your dad, like, oh, sorry, he's not going to pay. He beat my ass. You can go tell the guards, I think. Or I went and I found some of my friends and I talked to my friends. And literally one of the dialogue options is like, hey, this dude just beat me up. He owes me money. Come help me. So I did that. And then you go back to the house with your friends. All of a sudden you're like 4 deep and we jumped him. All 4 of us beat the shit out of the dude and got the money. And he's like, yeah, next time pay your debts. Like, wow. It's so awesome. Like that type of gameplay I've never seen in like any other game. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that like that depth of detail is so cool to me. Like we talked about how like if you steal a shirt and you come back in the shirt later, like, hey, that's my shirt. What are you doing? Like the fact that that exists is so fucking cool. It's just I don't know. It just seems like it's such a grind that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's ADHD or what, but the grind of that nature is just puts me off a little bit. But I do, like I said, I do want to try it one day. It's just I'm gonna have to be in a very certain mood, and the barrier to entry is gonna have to be very low.
All right. Well, Sean, I'm excited to hear what else you think when you get deeper. Sorry to sidebar. Take it away, sir. What else is going on? Or
It's all good. So last week I talked about how I had just started Pikmin 2, and I finished it. So very different game than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Very, very different game. But I had mentioned before that Pikmin 2, the stakes, it's a lot like lower stakes in terms of there's no time limit for the game. You can't run out of Pikmin. You have like an unlimited amount of Pikmin. The new Pikmin, I really like the purple and white Pikmin. The white Pikmin is fast, poison resistant. Purple Pikmin's like super strong, super heavy. Now I kind of understand in Super Smash Brothers why each Pikmin is kind of a little different. Um, I really like they had like a cave system in this game that like wasn't there in the first game, and if you go into the cave, like the day doesn't end, like the time doesn't change in the regular game, and it's like a dungeon basically where you're using your Pikmin to just kind of just get through get through the cave, get treasure at the end, do some of that real time combat. You can control both Olimar and Louis, which is fun because it makes it a little different. In the first game, you only could control Olimar. So in this game, there's two different characters. So you have like two different parties. You're kind of managing at the same time. So it can get a little hectic, but I think that might be the reason why they took out like the time limit mechanic. That might have been why, because you introducing two characters at the same time, that might be a little bit harder. The enemies are so much more difficult in this one. And like I mentioned, the unique caves. At the end of each cave, there's a boss, and some of these bosses are just like giant insects. And it is so cool to just come across like a giant grasshopper that looks like a freaking dinosaur when you're going up against it because you're tiny. I'm amazed at this game, how beautiful this game is, considering I know it's on Switch right now, but they didn't really. It wasn't like a remake. It was just like an up remaster of a GameCube game, and it looks gorgeous. And I looked at gameplay from the GameCube version, and back it looked awesome back then. One thing that I really appreciate about this game too is that they added co-op to this game, which was in like the Switch version, which wasn't in the original. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't the original. And I actually got Claire to play a Nintendo game. She played it with me because she likes real time strategy. She does like real time strategy games.
she's a
And
Chad.
she said that this was like real time strategy light, but she did enjoy it. And she said it was a little fun. So it's her first ever Nintendo game that she's admitted that it's fun. And we did play the 2-player battle mode where you go up against each other. She kicked my butt. It's pretty bad. Um, this game
Clara is a
also,
Chad, dude. She's always playing those hardcore games. I got a lot of respect for her.
she's so happy I'm playing Kingdom Come because she put so much time into it. And she said if it's not her game of the year, then that means GTA 6 is the greatest game ever. Um, One thing I did notice about the story, like the story, there is story in Pikmin games. Like obviously, you're stranded on a planet, you're trying to get off the planet and go back to your home world. But this game is a much more like humorous. Like Louis is much more lighthearted than Olimar, and he's much more quirky and like clumsy. So like he'll do things during like cutscenes or during gameplay where he'll just trip and fall, and like the Pikmin will go all over the place, and it really is leaning into that humor. But yeah, I really like it. There's a lot of quality of life stuff they improved. For example, like treasures now show you like to open certain treasure, you need certain Pikmin. And in Pikmin 1, they wouldn't tell you which Pikmin you need. You kind of just have to figure it on your own. Granted, there's only 3 kind of Pikmin, so it was a little bit easier. But in this game, they'll tell you, hey, you need 3 purple Pikmin and 2 red Pikmin to open this, or 3 purple Pikmin and 2 yellow Pikmin to move this giant boulder, which is really nice. So a little improvement in quality. It makes me, like I said, I enjoyed the first one better, but I think again that was because it was more like you have the time limit. You can run out of Pikmin. The quality of life stuff in this game is definitely better. It plays better. makes me really look forward to Pikmin 3, which I will be playing soon. So yeah, Pikmin 2. Hodge, I think you would like Pikmin. I think you would.
I
'Cause I
think
know you like
so.
Tinykin. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would. It's just I haven't really. I do need to flip on the Switch again. It's been a while since I've played it, so maybe I will be. Maybe that'll be my next Switch game. Because you said they are. Yeah, they're on Switch, which is
Yep, they're on
nice.
Switch. That's where I'm playing them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's.
didn't even know you had a Switch.
You didn't know I had a Switch?
No.
Oh yeah, I've had it since the launch. Well, I guess now I have the OLED, so I've had that since the OLED. But yeah. I think I would love these games. They seem fun.
All right. Awesome. I have nothing to add to that. You satisfied, Sean?
I
Sir
am.
Sean? All right. My cat is freaking out. All right. So up next, Hodge, what have you been playing, my friend? I see you got a lot of games, some good ones.
Yeah, well, the first two are very quick. I hopped back into Indie just out of curiosity because I saw it was still installed on my Xbox, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hop in and see if that glitched achievement is finally fixed. And thankfully, it is. So I have every achievement in that game. As I said before, I wasn't huge on some of the decisions the story made, but the gameplay itself was awesome. So overall, that is a fantastic game. I can't wait for PS5 players to be able to play it within probably the next couple months. I'm assuming it'll be out before summer on
It's in
PS5.
April 7th. It's got a release date, April 17th.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool. So yeah, in less than a month, PlayStation. Shit, I might actually go back. Even though I don't like the plot, it was such a fun game that eventually on PlayStation I might get it and just go for the plat because the gameplay itself is very fun. But yeah, so I just went in. It took me literally 30 seconds. I went to the last place where I knew I had to get one more note, and I was able to take the photo, and I got the achievement, and so I have all 1,000 gamer score from that game. But overall, great game. I just, like I said, the plot, it did not land for me. But also, I hopped back into Death Stranding now that Death Stranding 2 has a launch date. I had fallen off just because I was playing other stuff. And so I went back and I just delivered some more packages, opened the map a little more, and just had some fun relaxing and playing Death Stranding. I love this game so much. I cannot wait for 2. I did not watch the trailer that they released with the release date just because I'm already so sold on this game. Like, even I wouldn't have had to watch a single trailer of this game to be excited for it. So I want to go on blackout mode until Death Stranding 2 comes out. So I'm just currently ignoring it or ignoring the trailers and stuff. I'm just excited for Death Stranding 2. So I've just been going in delivering packages in my free time every once in a while just to relax and enjoy the game some more before the second one comes out. But I don't really have anything else to add to that one.
You're probably more reliable than the USPS right now.
Probably.
Dude, I gotta let it know. I ordered my register. I had to re-register my car, and it's like, oh, it will be at your house within 10 business days. I just got it like 2 days ago, and the postage though was February 28th. That's when they sent it out, and I just got it 2 days ago. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
USPS sucks.
Yeah. So I just really quickly beat those or beat Indy, got the last achievement, and then just play a little Death Stranding. But I'm also chugging along on Split Fiction. Me and my brother have both been busy. My parents actually went to go visit my brothers in Texas this last week, so my brother basically had no evenings to play Split Fiction, so I wasn't able to play much with him. But which is hilarious that I'm now like a month into this game, and it's like a 12-hour game. So that's how long it's taken for me and my brother to find time to play together. But it's still a phenomenal game. The gameplay is so good. The characters are still insanely annoying, and I cannot stand them. But the plot itself is good. So plot, gameplay, great. Characters, I could do without. But it definitely deserves the 90 that it has on OpenCritic and helping Sean dominate in fantasy because that game is fantastic. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. But lastly, but not leastly, I was just in a little bit of a gaming funk. I didn't feel like going back to Avowed. I enjoy the game, but I don't know. I'm kind of reaching that tipping point of it's like I like it, but I don't think I'm going to see it all the way through. Sadly, which it's just I don't know. But I hopped into so since I was in a gaming funk, I hopped into Kingdom Hearts just because I haven't played it since before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I was like, you know what, this is a nice comfort game. It takes me only like 15 hours to beat the first one because I've played it so many times. I know my way through this game like the back of my hand. So I've just been hopping in. I'm about 5 hours into it. I'm close to. I'm probably probably a third of the way through the game already, and I just love this game. It is such a comfort food game for me, and hopefully, I think the next game I care about that's coming out is South of Midnight, I believe, or actually Adamfall, I guess too. I do want to try that game, even though seeing the reviews, hearing that's good makes me happy, but seeing the reviews and seeing what the game is, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm actually gonna like this game. So I'm just kind of biding time until that or South of Midnight. So I'm just decided to hop back into Kingdom Hearts, and I'm enjoying my time with that. But Sean had
Right
to go do
on.
something, so he doesn't have anything to say about Kingdom Hearts right now. But and
Yeah.
I know you're a diehard
You
Kingdom
should
Hearts fan.
yeah, you should you're always talking about how you're going to go back and replay another game for like the third or fourth time, which fair enough. Not knocking
Mm-hmm.
you. But maybe instead of doing that sometimes you should challenge yourself and try one of these hardcore games and just see if you can you don't have to beat it all in 1 week. Like you can
Well,
make it
the thing
a
is,
journey.
the thing is about that is it's not like a gaming funk where it's like I don't have anything to play. It's more of a gaming funk where it's like I don't want to have to put the mental capacity into learning something
I
new.
gotcha.
And so if I tried doing like a slog game, not that it's a slog for everyone, but a game where I really have to immerse myself, I'd probably fall off almost immediately because I'd be like I'm just not in the mood for this. So that's why Kingdom Hearts is just it's like when you're scrolling Netflix and you don't know what to fucking watch, so you throw on The Office for the 10th time. Like it's basically that, but for
Mhm.
games. So it's like I couldn't really like I also have the Mafia Definitive Edition downloaded on my Xbox, and I was really close to hopping into that, but I was just like, if I'm not in the mood for this and it is a good game and I fall off, I'm gonna be very pissed off at myself for dropping a game that I actually want to play. So that's why I just kind of did the comfort food thing of just go back to a game I've played 100 times and just enjoy it. So yeah, that's why I hopped back into Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I always kind of hate like when you first start a game, like the first couple hours when you don't really know what the hell you're doing and you just don't really feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable are usually like some of the least pleasurable moments of
Yeah.
a game because like you just I don't know, I'm always really slow and methodical in the beginning and I don't know what I'm doing. But then later on once everything's like second nature, it's a lot more fun, of course.
Yeah, I think this is written down as one of our like topics of like games that we couldn't get into but then went back to and loved. And like I know I've had that so many times where it's like, God, what is this game? And then I fall off and I come back to it like years later, like, God, I love this game. Why did I not like this the first time? Like, what is going on? So yeah, I didn't want to risk me falling off a game that is good because I just wasn't in the mood for it. So yeah, I went back to a comfort food game, and that is Kingdom Hearts. But
All
yeah.
right. Sean, did you have any thoughts on Kingdom Hearts before we move on?
I think people know my stance on Kingdom Hearts, how much I freaking love this series. Hodge, myself, Brad Ellis, and Dustin Furman chatted for about 2 hours about Kingdom Hearts back last June. It was a
Mm-hmm.
freaking amazing episode. So, you want all things Kingdom Hearts, you dive into that episode.
Yeah,
I
if you want to know how bad my memory is, I was thinking while I was playing, I was like, "Oh, we should do a Kingdom Hearts spoiler cast." And I was like, "Wait, we did an entire Kingdom Hearts episode already."
I think that is our most viewed episode ever. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. So,
It's because the
shout
weebs
out.
come out. The weebs
It's
come
either
out.
that one
That's
or the
why.
episode with Cog. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, so shout out to the Weebs and shout out to Kingdom Hearts and shout out to Brad Ellis and Dustin Furman, some awesome people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all right, so that is what we have been playing. Let's go ahead and keep it moving, boys. We're going to get into our write-in for the show. Sean Mason, you want to take it away, sir?
Yeah, this comes from my good friend Broderick Fleming. I talk to him a lot. He's a really nice guy. He lives on the opposite side of the country from me, so sometimes you know wires can sometimes get struggling to get crossed here. But he has a nice write in here. He goes, "What is one game that you guys wish you could play again for the first time ever?" KOTOR would be mine. I know this is not in his question, but he's a huge KOTOR fan. It is my favorite game of all time, and it has shaped my love for sci-fi and RPGs. I play it at least once a year, and probably bug Sean weekly to do a DLC episode about it. Okay, he doesn't bug me weekly. He's mentioned it a few times, and I definitely want to have him on for a DLC on KOTOR. He was one of the big reasons why I played it for the first time. Him and Corey. Shout out to Corey. We all know who Corey is.
Mm-hmm.
They were big reasons why I played it for the first time. And yeah, we'll definitely do that DLC at some point. But yeah, a game that we wish we could wipe away from our memory and replay it again for the first time. I already have mine.
First of all, I'm down to do that DLC. KOTOR is one of my favorite games of all time, so I'd be down to do it anytime. I'd love to join you. I guess I can go. So for me, I got two games. Skyrim, I would love to wipe that away and go through and replay that again. Such an awesome, immersive game.
I like to
This
wipe it
is a
from my
role
memory
playing
too.
game. Hey, you guys suck. You guys aren't real gamers. That's okay. But yeah, like it's so immersive. It's a role playing game. You know, their role playing game is a category for a reason. Like games that let you actually play a role and make choices and you know, decide the fate of stuff, and like just the immersive element of the world, like exploration, finding a cave randomly, going into the cave, finding that there's a bunch of bandits in there, whooping the bandits' ass, freeing a prisoner at the end, and getting a flaming sword. Super cool. Awesome stuff. I love it. Wanting to join the Dark Brotherhood. So you have to end up killing someone and not get caught. And then later you go to sleep a couple nights later, and all of a sudden the dude shows up in the middle of the night, like, hey, we know what you did. Come join the Dark Brotherhood. And then you join like this assassin, like evil guild. It's fucking awesome. So Skyrim would be my first pick. And then my second pick, I forget what it is. So I'm going to pass it to Hodge and I'll come back.
In terms of memory, well, before I get into like in terms of wiping it from my memory, this is kind of a half answer to this question. Is I wish I could replay the Spyro trilogies on PlayStation and Xbox again because I have the platinums and all the achievements, and I want to earn them again. But but that doesn't really count because that's not really about the game. That's more about the trophies. But games themselves, the biggest one I can think of is BioShock. I remember how much that game blew my mind when I played it the first time. And also the Uncharted series. I remember when I bought my PS3, I bought it in either early 2010 or late 2009. So a couple years after the console had come out. And it was when I had dropped out of college because I got sick. It's not because I'm that stupid. I got sick and I couldn't go to class, so I failed all my classes. And I was at home just like depressed and, bored. And so I went out to the store and I bought a 32-inch TV, which at the time, it's actually still a decent TV. It was a 1080p, 120 hertz TV, which at the time it was a very high-end TV. And I went out and bought that, and I bought a PS3 with Uncharted 1 and 2. And I played through those games almost, I think in like a week. I played both of those games, and I was so blown away by how fun they were, how funny the story or the characters are, how good the stories were. The final bosses aside in both those games, those games are basically perfect in my mind. I love Uncharted. And then even The Last of Us, that game was such an amazing story that I would love to relive that story for the first time. It's really, there's not really a gameplay that I wish I could do again, because everything I think of, like, I wish I could, because those are still fun, like when I hop in. So it's really like the story and getting that mind, like the would you kindly, like, I don't even want to spoil that game, even though it's 18 years old at this point. Like, it's such a good game, and I don't want to spoil a single thing about that, but the moments in that game are just this: the first time you go underwater and you see Rapture in the distance, the first time you find out that moment, that it just insane moment, the first time you fight a big daddy, like all of these moments were so insane that, like, I don't think I'll ever have a game. I mean, I'm sure I will, hopefully, but I don't know if I'll ever have a game that had me that enthralled so quickly. Like, and I played it via the demo, which is one reason why I wish demos could come back, because I remember when I saw for the first time, it was like the cover story on Game Informer. I'm like, it's like a scuba diver guy. What is this stupid fucking game? Like, I was like, what is this? Looks so stupid. And then I played the BioShock demo the day I got my 360, and I went out and bought the game the next day because it was just that freaking cool. And so I wish I could relive BioShock for the first time. That game was unbelievable.
Yeah, reliving BioShock would be awesome. Like that pivotal moment at the end when Pedro Pascal and Zendaya pull up and shoot the villain in the head. I did not see that coming at all.
And then Spider-Man comes down and saves the day.
Yeah, Tom Holland shows up too.
Yeah.
Sean, how about you, sir?
I just want to say BioShock, that's a great pick. When I played it for the first time about 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, that I was blown away. Like, and that was, 15 years after it came out. But for me, I would say I have a couple. Any Kingdom Hearts, like the Kingdom Hearts series, I would love to just wipe away from my memory and replay again, just because I am so I've played them so many times now that like I just know beat for beat where to go, what to do. Like I can recite it to anyone. Like, hey, they can just verbally explain it to me, and I can without even visualizing, without even looking at a screen, I can tell them what they need to do. Like, oh, take a left here, go there, yeah, blah blah blah. And just the story, I'm really invested in the story and the characters, so I would love to be able to replay that series. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII. Wiping away that game and then replaying that, and just with all the different reveals in that game and the twists and turns and the long journey that the whole party goes through and the growth that the characters go through from the start to the end would be an amazing time to just re-experience, especially now that like I'm older too. Maybe like the first time playing it, I would pick up on more things. The things that I picked up on subsequent playthroughs, but picking up on that the first time, I wonder how different it would hit for me. From a gameplay perspective, I would love to be able to replay Mario Sunshine for the first time. Like I love Mario Sunshine so much, and not that it's taken anything away, but again, it's that I know how to get every shine. I know the ways to like break the game, and like that exploration of just exploring Delfino Plaza and not knowing like, oh my gosh, what's next? Oh my gosh, there's a new world coming up. Like, what's this theme gonna be? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Similarly to like Super Smash Brothers, like I remember vividly unlocking characters and not knowing who the characters were. Like Super Smash Bros. Melee, randomly a character just be like, oh, new challenger approaching and being like, oh my gosh, who is this? Like, who are we gonna fight now? Who Marth? Who's this Marth fella? Roy? Who's that? Fire Emblem? What's that? And then doing like research on it and just being like, oh my gosh, they have Young Link in this game. Like I remember unlocking Mewtwo and being freaking out in Melee because I had no idea he was in the game. Like Mewtwo's in this game? What? Like who is this? Like what is like it's just insane to me. So yeah, stuff like that. Like so it'd be awesome to experience, be able to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Kingdom Hearts as an answer too, but I was like, I'd have to go back in time to relive that one because I feel like if I were to try and pick up Kingdom Hearts 1 today, like if it was a new game, the gameplay, even though I love it, I know obviously my way around those controls like crazy. I understand how dated those controls are to some people. And I'd be like, the first one might be a little rough picking up if I had to pick that up in 2025 for the first time. So I was like, other than that, the story though in the series, I love it obviously so much as well. So that I would love to relive for the first time. But yeah, the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 1, I'd be like, ooh, that might be a little rough to pick up for the first time in 2025.
I just want to re-experience the view and the scene where Goofy gets killed.
Though the moment in Kingdom Hearts 2
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. The moment in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you fight the entire army, that would be a sweet moment.
Oh, the Battle of the Thousand Heartless? That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Like the fact that on a PS2 you were able to fight 1,000 enemies, that was pretty insane.
Some Dynasty Warrior stuff with no lag though, no lag.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. I love that series, obviously, though. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I would love to relive the story of that game, but yeah, the gameplay, I'd probably fall off pretty quick for the first one. It's just I played it.
And
so
then
many
my
times
final, and then yeah, I got one more game, Ball in Wonderland.
Ball in Wonderworld.
Ball in Wonderland.
Ball in Wonderworld. Shout out
Ball
to that
in Wonderland.
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
you know, my game that I forgot, I remembered now, is Dragon Age Origins, the first Dragon Age game from BioWare. Such an awesome game, dude. Such great companions, such great choices. Like 8 different origin stories, completely different, like 2 hours each, and then you actually jump into the main game, and then your origin carries over, and people will comment and treat you differently. It's freaking cool. I love it. And then one, if we're talking about just like a vibe and going back in time, I would definitely want to go back and relive briefly, not forever, but go back and briefly remember the times when I was playing like those old MMOs with my best friend Henry, playing Asheron's Call and Dark Age of Camelot. We used to get on there and play all the time, and it was so fun. But we're old now, so life goes on.
Oh, dude!
All right, guys.
Speaking, we can move on after this. But speaking of vibes, reliving Death Stranding for the first time, I remember just like the vibing with that game for the first time. That was so fun. That was so great. Loved it.
So good. So good. All right, boys. Any other thoughts on this before we move on?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
It is
Broderick.
time. Yeah. Shout out to Broderick. We love you. Thanks for your support. Keep being an awesome dad. All that stuff. It is time for the main event of the evening. All right, I'm an announcer now. We're going to get into our proudest gaming moments, achievements, trophies, etc. We're going to do Hodge, Sean at midnight. Hodge, you're up first. What is your number 5? Not that these are really in any super order, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with probably like the least so for a long time, like especially with like Skyrim and other like every time someone talked about RPGs, and it was the same with like Mass Effect. I didn't get into it at first, or KOTOR, which I actually still haven't ever played. I really need to do that. But like these games, because I remember back in the day, RPGs, even their action RPGs, like you could hit someone with a sword and it would say miss, and so that always pissed me off. Like, why would I want to play that? So I was just so not into RPGs that actually the game that made me realize, oh, I can enjoy RPGs if it's a good one. Ironic, what the game I'm about to say is the first time I played Dead Island. I loved that game so much. Actually, that one probably could have been on the the bad games that we love, because I don't know what it scored, but I loved this game so much, and it was an RPG where you could customize shit and you go around, you know, scavenge for stuff. And so the first time I played it, I was like, oh, maybe I do like RPGs. It just has to be a setting that I want to get into. And so it's like kind of a proud moment of me of discovering that I liked RPGs, just not certain RPGs, by playing Dead Island. And so that's kind of my first moment of clarity of that. Oh, I can try new genres. So Dead Island kind of in itself did that for me.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. No comments there. Sean, if you have thoughts, and then give yours.
No call. I've actually never played Dead Island, so
Remember that trailer though?
That trailer was insane. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You remember the trailer, Sean? Dead Island?
I do not. I don't.
It was backwards. Like
It
was
shows
really
a dead
Really?
girl
The
on the
girl and her
ground
parents
and
and
then
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that moment at E3 was insane. I remember that.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it at all. I
You should
probably,
go watch
if
it
I saw
sometime.
it, if I saw it, I probably would be like, oh yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, you would know
But
it.
yeah.
You would know for sure.
All right. So for my number 5, it's gonna be a little throwback to my college days. So during my college days, I got into a little bit of the speed running scene. So much so that I was speed running Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I was doing it live on Twitch, in front of an audience of about 10 people, which is funny.
Better than most.
But I was speed running it, all the different various categories, and I ended up really liking the 100% category, where you just, beat the game in 100% as fast as you can. And I ended up breaking the 9-hour mark, which is nothing. That's not like crazy. That's probably in like the top 15 in the world. But I think the record right now is like 7.5 hours, maybe 8. It might be like 8 hours, the world record right now. But I broke the 9-hour mark. I remember doing that and like freaking out because I had been, grinding at that category for months, trying to break 9 hours. And when I did that, I was like super, super proud of myself, super happy, to the point where like after I did that, like I was like, yes, I did. Like I remember verbally like, yes, I did it. 9 hours. Woo! Like freaking out. And people in my dorm were like, dude, you beat the game in 9 hours? Like, yeah. I'm like, but like I remember like as a kid, it took me like, you'd play it for like 25 hours to just try to beat like the main story. And yeah, I beat the game in 9 hours in a speed run. It was a lot of fun. I really like the speedrunning community around Paper Mario. Everyone's so welcoming, and everyone's really supportive of each other. It's awesome. So yeah, speedrunning Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, breaking that 9-hour mark. I was grinding the category for months. It's a really good time. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I retired from the speedrunning game, mainly because I got money and could afford more games. So like I didn't have to just keep replaying the same game over and over again. But yeah, Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, speedrunning that game.
All right. Very nice. Any thoughts, Hodge?
No, I've never attempted any sort of speed run because I know I'm not that good of a gamer. So good on you for doing that.
Dude, and this game is so like Thousand Year Door is so intricate with speedrunning. Like there are certain sequence breaks you have to do, certain glitches you have to nail, and it's like if you mess up like 3 times on the attempt, like the run's over. It's like you could be 4.5 hours in, it's like I ruined my run.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
All right. So for me, my number 5 is actually it's a platinum trophy. So I have 5 platinums. This was the hardest platinum that I got and the most rare. It was for Eternites. I actually had to play this game like 2.5 times to get the platinum. You had to replay the whole game. You probably only have to do it twice, but I screwed up something. I thought that I could work on 2 things at once and I couldn't. So, but yeah, I beat the game basically 2.5 times. Got the platinum. Only 3.9% of players have this platinum for Eternites, so that's pretty cool. I enjoyed the game. It's a good sleeper, indie JRPG hit. Not really a hit, but I like it. If you're into, small scale Persona like Weebish games, I recommend it. But yeah, I got the platinum for Eternites. I think that was my 3rd platinum at the time. So yeah, that was my number 5. Shout out to that game.
Nice.
If you guys have thoughts, go ahead. Otherwise, Hodge, you are up next.
Yeah, I've never played Eternites. I know you guys both liked that game, but I have never played it. But my next one, I'm gonna do a platinum as well. This one, if you guys remember back in like the 360 PS3 era, when this isn't one of those, but remember how there used to be multiplayer trophies and achievements, and it would be just so dumb that you had to earn or play multiplayer to complete a game. So I never did any of those. I never did any multiplayer things. So the first one I ever got a platinum for that was multiplayer was Helldivers 2. And this one is not an easy one to get either. There's a lot of different ones. Like I think one of the trophies is complete a mission without anyone dying. And if you've played Helldivers, you know how easy it is to die in that game. So this one was a lot of fun. Me and my buddies we still play together. They just came out with a new pack, like a battle pass pack, and this game is extremely fun. But yeah, getting the platinum for this game was very difficult, so I was very proud to get this one, and I just love this game. So I've said this, I've probably said this before, but I mean, what you said earlier this episode about how it's like the secondary kind of it adds more to the game, and so I will earn platinums or try and go for the 100 or 1,000 gamer score in games that I just love and don't want to put down. Because obviously there's many games where it's like you beat the story, you don't even go back to collect shit. You're just like, I beat the story, we're good, move on to the next game. But if it's a game I love and just never want to end, I will go for everything. And so this is one of those games where getting the platinum was quite an achievement for me, especially I'm not that good of a gamer. So getting it was a lot of fun, and I still love playing this game. So yeah, the Helldivers 2 platinum.
Okay, awesome. Haven't played it. Sean, take it away.
All right, my number 4 is not a platinum. I'll be getting to platinum soon, but this one might make you guys laugh a little bit. This one goes back to my childhood, probably circa 2004, 2005. Your boy Sean here was in a Dance Dance Revolution phase where he used to play DDR all the time. Him, my sister, and my good friend Trevor, we were all about that DDR phase to the point where I accidentally broke my Nintendo DS by stepping on it. Unfortunately, that was not good. But Dance Dance Revolution Extreme 2. This is our favorite version of it. Some PS, you know how there's like a million DDR games. This is like one of the PS2 games. We had the little mat. One of the most challenging songs in the game was called Butterfly. It was some type of remix of the song. Like, I don't even know. It was like sped up version. It's like, I'm a little butterfly. Something like that. But, it was one of the most challenging songs of the game. I got, on the extreme difficulty, I got a AAA rank, which is the highest rank you could get. And that was like insane because I wasn't the best. My sister was the best DDR player, but she didn't have a AAA rank on that one. But she had AAA ranks on almost every other song. But for some reason, this song she struggled on, and I got the AAA rank, and I kid you not, she was so mad. She like didn't talk to me for 2 days. She was like in the basement playing it for like probably I never. It was like a Saturday. She played it like all day trying to get the AAA rank. She was like buckets of sweat were pouring down because that's like an intense game. You're constantly moving, and on extreme mode, there's like you're constantly moving. But I remember getting that AAA rank. Little 9-year-old Sean beats his sister at it, and I was like, "Let's go!" But she used to kick my butt in DDR. But yeah, DDR, we played so much DDR, and these games were so much fun. We had 2 mats. It was great. Go up against each other. Went to the arcade sometimes. We played the arcade sometimes. Ooh, it was fun. Put that quarter down. No one's beating me. DDR. But yeah, DDR getting the AAA rank on Butterfly. It's actually funny. I still listen to some of the songs from those DDR games that we had because they're like sped up versions of it, and they're so much fun. Shout out to Speed Over Beethoven. Also introduced me to the song Captain Jack. Ayo, Captain Jack. Ayo, Captain Jack. You guys ever hear that song?
It
Bring me
sounds
back a white
vaguely
romance.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. DDR. You guys ever play DDR? I feel like Hodge would be a big
No.
DDR guy.
No, I have.
I feel like you'd be secretly like awesome at it, Hodge.
No, I don't have the coordination for that. I played a lot of Guitar Hero though. That's the only rhythm game.
Nah, DDR is the way to go.
Nah.
So the world has to know, Sean, did your sister ever get the AAA?
She did not. She never got it on that song. But
Yeah.
I kid you not, we still have the PS2 memory card. She has a AAA rank on every other song except for Butterfly. And
Oh, wow.
I probably have like 3 or 4 other AAA ranks. I have a lot of AA ranks, but like that was considered one of the hardest songs in the game. Also, shout out, that game also had Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Nice.
So that was in that. That was a really easy song to get AAA on because it's like kind of slow.
All right. Good stuff. Moving on. My number 4 pick. This is when I was laid off at my former job, spent a lot of time gaming, got into a hardcore PC shooter game called CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. For those that don't know, this is a PC Steam game, very hardcore, mouse and keyboard really only, competitive shooter. Big esports scene. And I was playing that a whole bunch, and I wasn't very good. But because we played it so much, I actually started to get pretty good. I remember one lobby when I was ranked in silver, I had like an ace where I killed all 5 people. And this one dude was like, this guy Midnight's a Smurf. And a Smurf means someone who's really good playing on an ultimate account. And I had just started the game. And I was like, oh, yeah. So that made me feel good. I got up to the rank DMG, which is like Distinguished Master Guardian or something, which was pretty awesome. But to be honest with you, that was a bit inflated because I was carried a little bit. I was playing with 2 people who were much better than me. They were like Legendary Eagle rank, which is like almost at the very top. So my realistic skill rank was probably MG2, Master Guardian 2, or double AK. That's probably where I would say, which is about two ranks lower than what I really got. But anyway, most people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but anyone who's played the game will know. So that was really fun. I actually got somewhat decent at that game and had a lot of fun. We played it's basically all like search and destroy. Like every match is basically search and destroy. One team's planting the bomb, it's like 5-on-5 or something. There's an economy too, like where you earn money for kills and assists, and then you can buy better equipment. So if you're getting your ass beat, you might have a round where all you have is a pistol. So you're really at a disadvantage. You have a pistol and the other team has like AKs and stuff. But yeah, it's a fun game. I really enjoyed it, got decently good at it, and had a lot of fun. So that's it. Reaching DMG, really MG2 on CSGO. Thoughts, and then Hodge, you're up. I don't think you guys have played this.
Well, no, it's funny that you say that though, where someone's like accuses you of like cheating or whatever. I remember I actually I'm not like the best. Obviously, I've said I'm not the best gamer out there, but I'm above average at Fortnite. And I do remember one time getting a message after killing someone. There's like, you cheater. I'm like, nope, you just suck. So that was a little bit of a proud moment of being whooping someone so badly they assume you're cheating. That's always it's a nice feeling. But my next one, I'm gonna go with getting both God of War games, the PS4/PS5 ones, getting both platinums. Not because it's just I achieved getting platinums. It's the fact that you have to beat those side bosses that are so freaking difficult, and I am not good. Like I said, like I haven't ever played a Souls-like game, but I kind of want to try them one day. But I know that they're going to whoop my ass. But so the fact that I was able to beat these extremely difficult, like the Valkyrie Queen in the first one, and then Oh god, there's two of them actually in the second one. I can't remember. There's like the queen, whatever, and then like the two like I can't remember what their names are. But I remember beating those and just being so like them all taking at least like an hour of constant like dying, go back, dying, go back, like just them taking so long, and finally getting the platinum with it. And so yeah, getting it's really those are platinums that I'm proud of, like that I would display on a profile because yeah, beating those side bosses is no easy task. So I was very proud of the fact that I put myself through it because I love those games so much. As everyone knows, or anyone knows who has been watching for a while, the first God of War, the OG PS2 one, is one of my favorite games of all time. So that series has always meant a lot to me. So getting the platinums for those two later on ones was a proud moment in your boy's life.
Yeah, I adore both those games. I never played the original God of Wars. My first entry into the series was 2018. I absolutely loved it. Loved Ragnarok. It's actually funny, Hodge. I'm pretty sure today, or is it yesterday, was the 20-year anniversary. I think it's
Mhm.
today of the original God of War coming out.
Yeah, sadly they added was like a new skin to the game. I'm like, oh. I was hoping that they've had a rumored original trilogy remaster for so long. Like it's been a rumor that's been around forever. Like I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I would hope it would because I mean, even though I played them on PS2 and I bought the remasters for PS3, like I would love to get those again and play them again because that original trilogy is so freaking good. I think 2018 and Ragnarok are better games, but I love the story of the Greek saga a lot. So I would love to play those again, and you should play them. So.
All right. Excellent. Good stuff. Sean Mason, you're up.
All right, here we go. Sean's gonna dip into his multiplayer bag for this one. Whoa, rare occurrence here. This is actually a combination. So it's Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I spent a lot of time with this game in 2019. So much so, I got the platinum, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that platinum's so difficult." Yes, it is very difficult to do the platinum. I did it, but that only took me about 45 hours. I spent about another 200 hours in this game playing the multiplayer to the point that I was in these online leagues with many other players, and there was an online ranking system. I was in the top 20 in the world at Crash Team Racing during 2019. I
Wow.
played this game so much, like legitimately so much, that I would come home from work and just play this game like nonstop. It was addicting. Shout out to Small Norm. He was my go to character. I was in a league with so many good players. It was to the point where if I played a random match, I would get ranked and matched up against the same people over and over again because they were similar, because it would be like matchmaking skill based. It would be the same people getting matched up against me because of just skill level, to the point where there was, like I said, there was an online Crash Team racing league that we had our own Discord server. There was championships, there was money on the line, and I was in the top 20 in the world in the rankings. It was so much fun to play. I absolutely adored it, but it got to the point where I was playing it so much that I was ignoring other games that I really wanted to play. So I had to put it down. This is like one of those rare online games that Sean really got into. I adored every second of it, though. And it is such a skill based kart racer. It is the most skill based kart racer that I've ever played. It blows any other kart racer out of the water, including Mario Kart. Um, it is so much more skill. There's not nearly as much luck in this game. I'd say it's like 90% skill, 10% luck for Crash, whereas Mario Kart's about 70% luck, 30% skill. Um, yeah, Crash Team Racing, top 15 in the world, top 20 in the world there. Small Norm is my go-to character.
Yeah. I don't know if
Impressive.
I don't know if I'd agree that it's better than Mario Kart, but I understand your argument against it. I just have played Mario Kart so much more. Like Mario Kart 64 is one of my favorite games ever. But I was looking while you're talking. I have 625 out of the 1,000 gamer score for that game. So 33 of 47 trophies or achievements. So I have not platinumed it or 100% it. So good on you for being able to do that. And I mean, way more impressive being top 20 in the world.
Yeah,
That's
there was
pretty
this
dang good.
guy who the person who was ranked number one. His name was Velos Toes. Velos Toes. Velos is a character from Crash Nitro Kart that he was in.
Mhm.
They put him in Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. This guy, I kid you not, was Like he was number one in the world, but there was like a big gap between him and like number two.
Oh,
Like I was closer to number two than number two was close to him. This guy was unbelievable. He used Polar, like the bear. Remember Polar? He
Mhm.
used the bear. This guy,
Yeah, from the Coca-Cola commercials. Yeah.
yeah, actually, it kind of looks like him. Actually, so you're not too wrong there. He was unbelievable. Like couldn't be touched. Couldn't be
Wow,
touched.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he's on my friends list still. He still plays Crash Team Racing all the time. The only games
Wow.
he plays: Crash Team Racing, Crash 4, and the Spyro trilogy, and the Crash Insane trilogy. Those are the only games he's played.
Spyro trilogy, good man.
All right.
Dude, the Spyro level in Crash Team Nitro Fuel that they added was so good.
I don't know if I played it. I must have.
It's so good. It's so good.
Nice.
Good stuff, Sean. Top 20 in the world. What a Chad. What a fall off, though. Went from top 20 in the world to now you can't even beat your wife in Pikmin. Come on, man. What happened?
Dude, I can beat her in Mario Kart anytime I want. I mean, Crash
There
Team
you
Racing
go.
anytime I want. And Mario Kart because she doesn't play Nintendo games.
There you go. All right. Good stuff, Sean. Good stuff. That's really impressive. Top 20 in the world. Awesome. That kind of reminds me vaguely, like I used to play Age of Empires Rise of Rome. On the Microsoft Gaming Zone. And I was not one of the best players in the world, but everybody thought that I was because I would always be in a lobby. Like we had that game, it was on the Microsoft Gaming Zone. It was actually like a website. There was lobbies and you could see who was in the lobbies, like who was in there playing.
Mm-hmm.
I was always playing with like the very best people in the world. I wasn't actually really playing. We would just spectate while they would 1v1 and stuff, but they'd always see me in like a private lock lobby. So I know they probably thought that I was really good and I wasn't, but that's okay. All right. Let me get on to my number 3 pick. So this one is not difficult at all, but it is my first ever platinum. So I wanted to put it in here. Now, I was a person who never really cared much about platinums, mostly because I was an Xbot and I was always playing on the Xbox. I had a PlayStation. I played a bit on the PlayStation, but I didn't really care about getting 100% and getting all the platinums. I didn't even care about that on Xbox. I wasn't getting like 1,000 gamer scores. But not that long ago, about a year and a half ago, maybe, I decided, you know what? It's time for me to get some platinums, get a couple. I have 5 now, nothing crazy, just a little bit. But of course, for my very first platinum, I had to do it. What game did I get it on? Ghost of Tsushima, my favorite PlayStation game maybe ever. Had to do it. Not a hard platinum to get. Actually, a very fun, satisfying platinum, I would say. Unlike Control, which burnt me out.
Yeah.
This one did not. It's very intuitive. You just have to clear out the whole map. You have to do a couple challenges. You have to beat everyone's ass, and it's fun. You get to experience the entire game, and you get rewarded with a platinum. So my very first ever platinum, Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch. We love you. I love you. I can't wait for Ghost of Yote. Random aside, but that is my number 3. Finally joining the Platinum Club for the best game ever. Good stuff.
It's a great game. Good platinum too. Fun platinum.
It is. It's a fun one.
I have that platinum as well. Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, me too.
It's not difficult. You just have to 100% the game, basically, like legitimately.
Honestly, those are my favorite platinums or achievements. It's just beat it, and you have like obviously not beat just the game, beat all the shit in the game, and it's there. Not the ones where it's like hold your breath for 10 hours while standing on your head, and then you get this one.
Just experience everything the game has to offer. Clear the map, do all the stuff, do the quests, and here's a platinum. That's how it should be. I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Hodge, you're up.
All right. I'm going to... This one is not a platinum or a trophy thing. It is just a proud moment of experiencing another thing that I hadn't experienced before. When I was 25, I believe, I bought a Nintendo 3DS. It's actually right here. My
underrated console.
It's my Pikachu edition one. It's upside down. There we go. My little Pikachu one. I bought it because it was on sale on Prime Day, and I played Ocarina of Time for the first time, which is what I'm getting to as the main point. That game is a masterpiece, and the fact that I didn't play it until decades later proves it, because obviously there's the games where you say like this is the best game ever, and then you go back and it's dated like milk, and you're like, but at the time it was the best. But this is a game that has held up. Obviously, it's the 3DS version, so they did have a little bit of quality of life on it, I'm sure, but still, maybe Sean disagrees. I don't know. I haven't played the N64
No, I do.
one, so
No, I do. No, that was. I was saying that because someone
oh,
a
a
motorcycle
motorcycle
drove
is
by.
driving into your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game is fantastic, and the fact that I played it for the first time at 26 and I loved it. I even played it in 3D. I actually love the 3D mode on the 3DS. I think it looks awesome. So playing that game for the first time at like 25 or 26, however old I was, I loved it, and I'm just happy that I finally had gotten around to it and played such a masterful. Because the only Zelda game I'd played at that point were Zelda 1 and 2 on NES, because I had those as a kid. But yeah, playing Ocarina of Time for the first time was a fun time and just experiencing one of the best games ever made. So yeah, just doing that, playing Ocarina of Time.
Facts. One of the best games ever. The only Zelda game that I've actually fully beaten, because I'm a fraud. I beat this on the Nintendo 64. Fucking awesome game. Shout out to Nintendo EAD, the developer of this, now EPD, which Mr. Mason drafted on his team with his number 1 overall. And who can blame him? Because
For the melon heads. For the melon heads.
So
yeah, the melon heads.
My cousin, two of his favorite games of all time are Ocarina of Time and Donkey Kong Country. He played those games. Like you were saying how you just played them for the first time or whatever. My cousin knows every single secret in Donkey Kong Country. He knows every little hidden pathway to take. He knows every tiny little secret in those games. So, but anyway, me and him were talking about maybe playing Ocarina of Time again this year and then doing a spoiler cast between us, because like I said, it is his favorite game of all time. So he was saying he wants to do it, and he's who I used to do my old podcast with. So he knows how to do the whole podcast game. So we were debating doing an Ocarina of Time episode at some point this year. But yeah, that game, yeah, it's fantastic. Love it.
All right, Sean, if you have bars for Zelda, and you're up next.
Ocarina of Time is fantastic. It's a phenomenal game. Awesome. Great job. All right. Next up, number 2 on my list is a dual platinum. This is getting the platinum for Rogue Legacy 1 and Rogue Legacy 2. Now, if you don't know these games are extremely difficult to platinum. The percentages for the plats are like 0.5 and 0.4%, I think. They are ridiculous, but I'll never forget finally popping the platinum for both of them. There's this boss fight at the end of Rogue Legacy 1 that you have to do. It's like an extra additional boss fight, and you can't get hit. And I remember sitting there, it was a June night, my hands were sweating. I'm sitting there playing in the dark, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm just going to try it one more time, and we're going to see what happens. And I remember popping it and freaking out, like legitimately freaking out, like tossing my controller to the side and be like, I did it! Let's go! It's like June 2022. And then I was like, nothing will beat this. And that game was so difficult. Like, people think Souls games are hard. Go play Rogue Legacy and try to get the Platinum Trophy. Please, go do it. And then playing Rogue Legacy 2 just took it to the next level. Like, even more difficult. Bosses were even more insane. And then you have to play the game over and over again, because it's a roguelike. You gotta play it over and over again. Slowly upgrade your character. Beat these bosses, and then when you finally pop that platinum, you're like, I cannot believe I did it. And it's one of those games you can legitimately, like, physically see yourself getting better at, like, skill-wise. Like, the first time you play, you're like, this game is so difficult. And then, like, 10 runs later, you're like, wow, I'm breezing through this part. That's what I love about those kind of games, too. Like, you just see yourself evolving as a gamer and see yourself evolving in the game. It's one of those games that if you put down and like take a break for like a week or two, good luck getting back. Good luck getting back. But yeah, getting the Platinum Trophy in Rogue Legacy 1 and 2, really awesome. Both of them are great. If you've never played Rogue Legacy 1, maybe just jump into 2, because 1's a little dated now. It did come out in like 2010. 2 is great though. Both of them are great. Awesome games.
Heck yeah. All right, good stuff. Do you have any thoughts on that, Hodge?
No,
I
I
haven't played
remember
them.
you talked about these games on one of our episodes. I just can't remember which one it
It was for some,
was.
I forget what topic it was,
Yeah,
but
I just remember you
yeah, they're
talked about
so
these games,
good.
but I've never played them. They definitely seem tough. But yeah.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I never played this game. I looked at it. I looked at the screenshot. It kind of looks kind of Hollow Knight-ish.
It's
Uh,
called for Hollow Knight.
yeah. All right. Good stuff. My number 2 is going to be my first ever Souls experience. I had never played any of the Dark Souls or Demon Souls really. That's a lie. I played Demon Souls for 1 second, lost to the tutorial boss, and quit. Literally, I was like, "This sucks." But I hopped in Elden Ring, and I beat Elden Ring, and I beat Melania, which was an optional side boss, and she was pretty tough. And I got all those achievements over on the Xbox. I was proud of myself for doing it. I played as a mage, which actually I think is probably one of the harder ways to play, especially once they patched the cheese. Early on, there was some cheese where you could hit them with like the Kamehameha beam, basically, and you could do it like forever and just beam them to death. They patched that though, so by the time I beat the game, like you had to legitimately beat it. And it was tough. Playing as a mage was tough. Although the final boss I didn't actually beat with mage because I was a spellblade like I often do. I also had one-handed swords. I like doing that. So I basically beat him with the one-handed sword. I had this awesome the Wing of Astil, I think it's called, a one-handed sword, which you swing and then it does like a whole cluster mine effect that goes boom, 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 boom. It's freaking sweet. Dude, that game's awesome. So shout out to From Software beating Melania and Elden Ring. I was very proud of myself. I did not get 100%, by the way, on it, but I beat the game. I beat all the hardest boss, including the optional like Melania, and I was just proud of myself for conquering a Souls game finally for the first time, and I enjoyed it. So maybe I'll play more of them in the future sometime. That's it. Thoughts, and you're up next, Hodge.
Yeah, Elden Ring and Bloodborne are like the two that make me want to try Souls-like games because I've just heard, nothing but praise for both of them. And I've said this before, but I will hop into Bloodborne day one if they do ever fucking patch it to be 60 FPS. I'm not playing it at 30. I refuse at this point. Like I can't I can't do that. But if they ever do patch it at 60, I will play it. And same with Elden Ring. It's like it's one of those that was so beloved. I want to play it really badly. It's just if I get my ass kicked constantly, I'm gonna be like, why did I waste my time playing this game? But because as I said, I'm not a very good gamer. But I want to play Elden Ring. I just one day, one day it's on the list. I just need to find the motivation to want to put myself through that torture. But yeah.
All right. I don't think Sean has any thoughts on that. So would you go ahead with your number 1, my friend?
All right. Speaking of difficult games, even though this is, I guess, considered like baby's first roguelike with the Rogue Legacy and everything, just trying Hades because it was on Game Pass, and then subsequently getting the 1,000 gamer score and the platinum. So I beat it twice, and I just, as everyone knows, I mean, you can see the freaking posters back there. I got the Hades posters behind me. I love these games so much. I cannot wait for Hades 2 to finally have its 1.0 release this year, hopefully. And but yeah, just it's really a combination of getting the two quote unquote platinums, the Xbox equivalent and the actual platinum, and then the just trying it like for the same reason as like Dead Island of entering into a genre that I didn't know I'd ever like. Because I remember when it won Game of the Year, I was like, really? Like that doesn't look that fun. It's just like a top-down cartoony. What is this? And so when it came to Game Pass, I'm like, you know what? All right, fine. I'll play it because it won all these awards. And then I was obsessed immediately. Just anytime I had like a half hour going into a run, because that's really the longest run I ever had that I completed was like 30 minutes. Like by the end of it, I was completing them in like 14 minutes. I was able to whoop everyone's ass and get through it pretty quick. But yeah, just trying out something new like that in the same vein as Dead Island, but also getting those achievements, which even though I know, like I said, I guess some people consider Babies First roguelike. Like they're not as difficult as a lot of roguelike games, but in the words of Billy Madison, well, it's tough for me, so back off. so, so yeah, I love that game, and I cannot wait for Hades too.
Yeah, I totally expected when we did our Secret Santa that you were going to give me Hades. So I was a little surprised when you gave me Control, but I was glad you did because I liked Control, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of these games. I looked them up. They did Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, whatever, and Hades, and I've heard of all of these games. Like they're all like somewhat beloved. So good
Yes.
developer.
Yeah,
You should have
Supergiant is
drafted
really
them.
good.
You really should have.
I completely forgot about them until on the episode. You're like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't take the Hades developer, and I was like, I completely forgot about Supergiant. I should have taken them, but yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, I've only played Hades. I should go back and play their others, but
Transistor, Hodge, you should play Transistor's awesome. Specifically,
okay.
the game's incorporation of music into that game, I think you'd really appreciate
Ooh, it does sound
because
good.
it is
Transistor looks
that
cool.
the music in all the super and all their games are really good, but Transistor in particular like incorporates like the music is a central part of like the main story.
Yeah, I have the Hades soundtrack on vinyl because I love that so much. Oh, this game looks
You would like
sweet.
Transistor is so good. That was actually funnier, believe it or not. Transistor was one of my first platinums, I think. Pretty sure.
Huh.
Yeah, it says Transistor is a sci-fi themed action RPG that invites you to wield an extraordinary weapon of unknown origin as you fight through a stunning futuristic city. Not on Xbox, but it is on PlayStation and
Yeah.
PC and
That's
Nintendo.
fine. As we know, I'm becoming a pony, so I'm okay
Yeah,
playing on PlayStation, and then I can
no,
earn
it
a
looks
platinum.
cool.
Welcome
And
to the
Bastion,
barn. Welcome to the
Bastion, I've
barn.
heard of as well. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it.
It's good too. My favorite's Transistor, but I have a really soft spot for that game.
All right. So shout out to Supergiant Games and Hades. Sean, you're up next, and if you have extra Hades thoughts, feel free.
All right, my number one is getting the platinum trophy in my beloved Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. This took me 126 hours. This game is ridiculously hard. This is the most difficult platformer on planet Earth. I don't want to hear anyone say it's not. Getting the 100%. First of all, just beating the game regular for like a normal casual player is really difficult. Getting the platinum trophy, beating it at 106% is ridiculous, and I did it twice. Oh, actually, three times technically. I did it for Xbox, I did it for PlayStation 4, and then I did it again for PlayStation 5. I didn't do the auto pop. It was so much fun. I love Crash Bandicoot. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I waited for this game for so long. I love the fact that they just erased all the other Crash games out of existence and said, this is our number four." And the levels were just like a throwback to Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2, and Crash Bandicoot 3. It took everything that I loved about those games and just made them better. I love the mask mechanic. They introduced these new masks that were like not new power-ups, but like you use them occasionally during levels and they incorporated them into the level design. Awesome. Like a great job. You get to play as Dingo Dog for some levels, Twana. It was just such a good game, and there were so many good levels. Like I can't think of a bad level in this game. There's one themed after like Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and it was awesome. Like it was so cool, and the way they incorporate the music into that level was so cool with like the trumpets and like the jazz music. It was just an awesome game, and just getting the platinum was insane because you have to get, like I said, 106%, and to get 106%, you have to get you have to get a platinum relic on all of the time trials, which is like that's the most difficult relic to get. You have to beat every single level, get every single gem with in each level without dying, and like without, and each level has like 6 gems. You have to do basically everything without dying, essentially. Um, it is ridiculous. It is so much fun. They introduced inverted levels to the game too, which was like the same level but backwards, and it was so cool. This is another game I wish I could just play again just to get the trophies again. Um, but it's never left my PlayStation dashboard since I got it. Never left it. Amazing. I freaking love this game. I remember
Awesome.
getting this. I remember getting the platinum in 2020, right before the PS5 came out, and it was on a Saturday. And I remember being like just like my fist just pumping my fist. Like, I can't believe I did it. I freaking did it. Love it. Crash 4. Must play game.
Awesome. Good stuff, Sean. Hodge, do you have any thoughts on the Crash 4?
I need to play this because I loved those
So
first
good.
3.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
I need to. I just don't know why I haven't. I really need to play these games because the first 3 were so good. I loved like obviously I was more of a Spyro kid growing up, but I did play the Crash games and I always loved it. And I even played Crash Team Racing as a kid, even though I replayed it when it came with the remaster or refueled or whatever. But yeah, I need to hop into this. But I think the big reason I didn't hop into it right away was hearing how difficult it was. So I'm like, all right, I'm probably not going to platinum it by any stretch, but I definitely do need to hop into this game.
You can definitely beat the main story, and they took away. You can play like classically, which is like you have the lives, and if you run out of lives, you have to like start the whole thing over, or you can just play with no lives, and it'll have a death counter, but like it doesn't affect you at all.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably play that way because I play on journalism mode now in all my games. So,
and no, it is really cool the stuff they changed too. Like, each level, like I said, has multiple gems. Like, there's 3 gems for the boxes. So if you get like a third of the boxes, you get 1 gem. 2/3, 2 gems. All the boxes a gem. There's a hidden gem in each level. There's a gem for beating it without dying three or fewer times. You get a gem. It's just like it's really cool the way they did it. I think you would like it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to play it eventually.
All right. Fantastic, guys. Good stuff, Sean. This has been fun. I'm up now with the final pick of this here. My number 1 pick. And before I get into this, not a pick. I don't know why I'm saying pick. Let me educate people out there. Now, Sean, I know you know this. You're a big baseball fan. Hodge, you might know this as well.
I already know
but
this.
before the audience out there who doesn't know, let me give you a little bit of game here on the game of baseball. So in the game of baseball, as a pitcher, there are many achievements you can get. But like the hardest ones, I would say you have a complete game shutout, which is obviously going the whole game, throwing a shutout, meaning the opposing team scores no runs. That's very impressive. And then above that, you have the no-hitter. The no-hitter is very elusive. That's when you go the whole game. Not only do they not score, but they also get no hits. And then you have one step above that.
They could
Sean,
score on a no-hitter. They could score on a no-hitter. Pitchers have thrown no-hitters and given up a run.
Oh, if they walk people in?
They walk people or
errors and walk-ins?
Errors, sacrifice flies, yeah.
Okay. See, like I said, Sean knows his baseball. All right, good stuff. And then above that, you have the illustrious perfect game, which very, very few people. Sean, do you know how many people in real MLB have thrown a perfect game? Do you know?
It's like 27, I'm pretty sure. MLB perfect games. Yeah, it's not the most rarest feat in baseball. It's one of the most rarest feats, but it's 22.
22. And baseball's been going on for over 100 years.
Yeah, 22 different people have done it, but there's 24 official perfect games.
Okay. And MLB's been going on for what, 120 years or something? Like, yeah. So
pretty much around 120 years. No one really knows like when it actually it's about 120 years.
Nobody knows. So
a perfect game is literally perfect. You cannot walk anyone, you cannot allow any hits, and you have to, win the game, right? How do errors work in a perfect game, Sean? I don't know.
It goes if there's an error, the perfect game is no longer a perfect game.
You literally nobody can touch the base.
Yeah, sorry if you said this. I know there's a perfect game and there's like the other one. No hitter, is that what the other one is?
No hitter is they can get on base, they can score a run, there's no hits given up. Okay. Perfect games the last perfect game was in 2023, June 28th.
And that's just 3 up, 3 down, 27 batters, and it's over.
27 up, 27 down.
Yeah.
Yep. Nobody touches the base. They're all out. All right. So there you go. Perfect game. In MLB The Show 12 on the PlayStation 3, your boy Midnight was grinding his My Player, his Road to the Show, rather. My Player is 2K. Road to the Show. I had a pitcher. And there is a trophy in that game, which I have right here. And it is $1 Million Arm. It says, in any game mode, throw a perfect game against a CPU-controlled team. Must be done in a full, uninterrupted 9-inning game. And I did this. I earned this on 5/20/2012, May 20th, 2012 at 3:14 p.m. Got the receipts here. This is ultra rare. 3.7% of players did this. Mostly people who are hunting for the platinum, because this is part of the platinum. I'm sure it is, of course. So 3.7% of players did this, and I was one of them. I wasn't even trying. I didn't even know that it was happening. Honestly, I knew that I had a no hitter. I knew I had a shutout and a no-hitter. I didn't know that I had a perfect game until the trophy popped. I wasn't trying to do it. I didn't even know that this was a trophy. Like, I wasn't hunting for trophies. I was just playing the road to the show, and I had my pitcher, and this was all legitimate. There's no cheating or boosting. I was just pitching, and I was having a great game, and I was just striking people out and getting weak ground outs and stuff like that, and pop outs and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I won the game, and it popped up $1 million arm perfect game, and I was like, whoa! I did throw a perfect game. That's awesome. And that is by far for me, my funnest, coolest, most unique, rare, if you will, achievement or trophy. So I threw a perfect game in MLB The Show 12 on the PlayStation 3. So shout out to me.
I love that. That's awesome. That's really cool, actually. It's funny that it's probably easier to throw a perfect game in a video game than it is in real life.
Oh, yeah. Well, no doubt. Yeah.
It was just funny. It's actually not the rarest thing in baseball, though, as in terms of achievements.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, guess the
other cycle. One. Is it the cycle?
No, cycle's been done. Cycle's done.
Yeah, way more
all the time. Which actually, it's funny because I'd rather hit like 4 triples than hit for the cycle. Like that's just like more. The rarest feat in baseball is a 4 home run game.
Oh,
4 home runs by one player.
How many times has that happened? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you how many. Hang on, I'll tell you right now.
I mean, that is crazy impressive.
Yeah, I know it's less than that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And it hasn't happened since 2017.
Who did it in 2017?
2 players, JD Martinez and Scooter Gennett. I remember Scooter Gennett doing it. I actually remember both of those. I remember Josh Hamilton doing it in 2012.
Nice. What was it? 17 people you said?
Yeah.
17? Yeah, only 15 of them were on steroids. That's crazy.
Well, actually, no. It's funny. During the steroid era, which is like 96 to like 2004, there was only 3 games like that. And none of them are Hall of Famers.
Crazy.
None of them are linked to performance enhancing drugs either.
I would say in a video game, it's probably easier to hit 4 home runs in a game than throw a perfect game in a video game. Because you could just crank home runs in a video game.
I'm sure, yeah.
All right. So that's it. That'll do it for us. Do you guys have any more thoughts or honorable mentions, if you will? I don't, but if you do, please share.
I have 2 honorable mentions. The first one is beating Ori and the Blind Forest. That game was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And maybe I'm just terrible, but that game was very difficult. It's also very good. If anyone hasn't played Ori and the Blind Forest, it is fantastic. I still need to play Will of the Wisps. But and then this isn't really like an achievement of any sort, but me and my brother, as I've said before, we play all the Lego games. So it's kind of an achievement that we've played basically every single Lego game except like one of them. And so we always try and get every single trophy in them. They're very, very easy trophy guides because, they're kids games, but it's just it's an achievement to us that we've played like every single Lego game. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Great. Good stuff. Good stuff. We are all awesome. We are the best gamers. And so are you. If you listen to this podcast, that means that you are an elite master gamer. Top 1% in the world. So shout out to yourself. Let us know in the comments, boys. What are some of your best gaming achievements, proudest moments, hardest things, or just anything you're proud of? Leave us write-ins like we talked about, like Broderick did. And I think it's time to get out of here. What do you guys think? We satisfied with all of this? I think so.
Yeah, I think I don't think he listens to our show, but our buddy Johnny Waffles, I'm pretty sure he's the #1 Guacamelee player in the world. So go him for that.
Yeah, he's like insane. He's insane at it. Yeah. He was also like one of the first people to get the platinum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is impressive.
So shout out to our buddy Johnny, even though I don't think he listens, but yeah, he's very proud of that fact.
Well, tell him he'll have to listen to this episode to hear his shout out. So
yeah.
All right, boys. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Let's go do our final thoughts. I'll start it off because mine is boring. I just want to thank everybody like I always do. I need to come up with something more unique, but thank you guys for listening and supporting our podcast. We couldn't do it without you. We love and appreciate you. Shout out to me getting a perfect game. Shout out to Sean Mason for being the MLB historian. He knows way more about baseball than I do. And that was really fun. That was cool. Gamesoverplastic and MLB podcast. Sean, why don't you hit us with your final thoughts for episode 30?
Great episode. This episode was right up my alley, you know, with me with my 128 platinum trophies that I have. But it's more fun to just talk about things you're proud of. Like mine weren't all platinums. Like that DDR experience, like I had so much fun just remembering that. Like sitting down to think about what I'm so proud of as a gamer and just going back and remembering that DDR. And then I got into a whole conversation with my sister about it because she remembers it vividly. And like we talked about it for probably an hour, just going back and forth on text messages, talking about DDR and how, oh my gosh, we need to boot up the old PS2 and just play DDR again together because we still have it. We got to do it. So now we're planning on doing it.
Very nice. All right. Hodge, what are your final thoughts?
That actually, really quickly, that reminded me of, I don't have many like accomplishing memories of as a kid, but I just remembered when I was a kid, obviously being the younger brother to my older brother. I'm the middle child actually, but to my older brother, we would play Madden every year as a kids. And I do remember he would always beat me because, you know, he's the older brother and he's just better. But there was one game I beat him on a last second kickoff return for a touchdown. Like it was literally zeros on the clock doing the kickoff after a score. And I returned it for a touchdown. And he did the classic kid thing you do of turn off the system before I make it to the end zone.
Oh yeah.
I just
Joke's on him. It still counts.
Exactly. But I always remember that because he was so angry that he shut off the PlayStation. But yeah, this is a fun topic. I was happy we got to do it. I just love reminiscing about stuff like this. And definitely anyone listening, comment your achievements. I definitely want to hear them of what you're proud of accomplishing in games. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
All right. And with all of that said, we're going to go ahead and ride off into the sunset. This has been Games Over Plastic, episode number 30. Hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Live your life with the swarm mentality, special work ethic, and relentless mindset. Go out and do it!